With our first look at Timothée Chalamet and Denis Villeneuve's Dune yesterday and a new logo, we were teased that we would get more information today. Well, now we have a Vanity Fair article revealing so much awesome information, brand new photos. We're going to talk about it right now. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Denis Villeneuve's Dune is my most anticipated movie of the year. He is my #1 filmmaker in the industry today. I can't wait to see what this movie holds, and I am so excited to get our first trailer. We're not there yet, but we do have a slate of new images to talk about, and this article that we're just going to kind of run through today. Obviously, if you want to read it, it's on Vanity Fair, but I do want to talk about some of the details that they revealed and just go through these incredible looking photos. Now, yesterday, obviously, the Timothée Chalamet photo that already had the feel that I was hoping to get from this film, but it didn't reveal all that much, right? We also got a new look at the logo, which I think looks great. Now, multiple new photos that we're going to run through, but first, I want to talk about some of the things that were mentioned in this article. And we get kind of that behind-the-scenes look into how the actors were feeling while filming. Chalamet says it was all really surreal. There are these Goliath landscapes, which you may imagine existing on planets in our universe, but not on Earth. And that is because they are not on Earth anymore. They are on the dust-dry battleground planet known as Arrakis. It's the only known location of the galaxy's most vital resource, the mind-altering, time and space warping spice. So in this new film, you have Chalamet, who is the young royal Paul Atreides, the proverbial stranger in a very strange land, who is fighting to protect this hostile new home, even as it threatens to destroy him. Now, the interesting aspect is the fact that humans are the aliens on Arrakis. The dominant species on that world are immense and ferocious sandworms that burrow through the barren drifts like subterranean dragons. And obviously, if you're a fan of Dune, you know these things, but it's just really cool to see this finally come to light. We're getting an adaptation from my personal favorite director, and I did see yesterday a couple of people concerned about the fact that they are straying away from a few things that make the source material great, and I completely understand how that makes some apprehensive. I am aware of a lot of elements of what Dune is bringing to us, what it has to offer, but I am not as engrossed in the source material, so I'm okay with Denis making these changes, or at least the changes that he feels necessary. Now, obviously, it could all fall apart, it could all crumble, and I would understand if it did, because this source material is just so vast. The story that they're telling, the narrative, is a hard one to capture. But thankfully, Denis says in this article something that we were all aware of. It's just nice to hear more confirmation. Denis Villeneuve says, "I would not agree to make this adaptation of the book with one single movie. The world is too complex. It's a world that takes its power in details." And basically, they're going to go about this story as they did with It. They have It Chapter 1, It Chapter 2. There will be a Dune, and then there will be probably a Dune Chapter 2, which has me so excited to see Denis Villeneuve finally tackle a sequel of sorts. We had heard if Blade Runner would have been successful, but it wasn't. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But Dune already basically has a sequel confirmed, and that is the best of news. And he intends to create a movie unlike anyone has ever seen. So basically bringing the imagination of what readers have been reading for so long to life. But he says the key to that is breaking this narrative in half. So Warner Brothers agreed to tell the story in 2 different films. And he said it's not only a space adventure that he's telling, but also a prophecy. No matter what you believe, Earth is changing, and we will have to adapt. And that's why I think Dune, this book, was written in the 20th century. It was a distinct portrait of reality of the oil and the capitalism of exploitation, the over-exploitation of Earth. Today, things are just worse. It's a coming-of-age story, but it's also a call of action for the use. So obviously, Denis is not just telling this space adventure, which is what I think a lot of people will see this movie as, not knowing that it's actually a film with a bit more depth than that, and it's something that may take its time, but I believe at the end of the day, it will absolutely be worth it. But I do want to just kind of roll through some of these pictures and look at the crazy cast that Denis Villeneuve has gotten together for this. So in this photo, you have the House Atreides, obviously Timothée Chalamet as Paul Atreides, but you also see actors like Stephen McKinley Henderson, Oscar Isaac, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, and a very different-looking Jason Momoa. It's an incredible showcase of the talent all in one picture, but it's also a peek into what this film is going to feel like. The cast in this photo alone is just incredible. In this photo, we get our first look at Zendaya's character, and I am so excited to see what her chemistry with Salome is going to be like. Now, obviously, you got the people online like Salome and Zendaya, and they're already throwing together the highlight videos with the music playing in the background, and I'm just like, you know what? It's kind of good that these actors and actresses have so many just hardcore fans that are going to go out and see Dune when maybe they would not have seen Dune in the first place. So that's kind of like, okay, maybe this works, fingers crossed. Yes, I love seeing this photo of Timothée Chalamet and Rebecca Ferguson in Jordan, filming in that landscape, which Chalamet says was just really surreal. And I love that Villeneuve is not going the green screen route. He could have absolutely done that because I believe the studio would have given him that luxury. You have 2 movies coming out this year that are utilizing locations more so than green screen. And don't get me wrong, some movies that works very well within them, but Dune, Tenet, come on now. Now in this photo, we see Josh Brolin as Gurney Halleck, and the outfit that Brolin is wearing is just awesome. Nothing clean about this. It's worn down, it's dirty. It is Josh Brolin, so he makes it look more BA than probably any other actor, but it's a very dark feeling sci-fi outfit. The ship in the background, the landscape obviously behind him that we'll get to see more of when we hopefully get a trailer soon. Man, he fits this perfectly, as does Rebecca Ferguson. Once again, another picture of her, and an interesting choice of outfit here. I would love to know in the comments down below if you have an idea of what part of the movie this takes place in, why she is dressed up like this, but yeah, man, a very dark-looking Rebecca Ferguson. And then another look at these outfits, but this time you have Brolin in the background, Oscar Isaac in the foreground, and Oscar Isaac, another actor that fits this world so well. Duke Leto Atreides, wow, oh, wow. The beard and the oh, gosh. And let's not leave Jason Momoa in the dust. Well, I mean, he's in the sand, so he's kind of in the dust. But let's get one more look at him, and the color palette is another thing I'm paying attention to here. We have the grays and the whites in the earlier photos showing a bit more brightness, and in this photo we're straying more into the dark orange category. One thing I love about Villeneuve is how he captures color, whether it's color correction in a certain scene that doesn't necessarily match up with what you feel like the movie is giving you so far, but it does match with the mood. And you notice that in a movie like Blade Runner, Arrival, Prisoners especially, and he brings that especially to his sci-fi films, so that's one of the things I'm more so excited about. Obviously, the technical aspects of Dune have me salivating, but you look at this cast, you look at what was revealed in this article, and I would love for you guys to go take a look at this. Vanity Fair. You can find some great information about how these actors were feeling while they were shooting Dune and what they believe their role will be in the grand scheme of things. So, Villeneuve says you have a book tackling politics, religion, ecology, spirituality, and it's a lot about the characters. I think that's why it's so difficult, he's talking, bringing to the big screen. And then he goes on to say, honestly, it is by far the most difficult thing I've done in my life, and after finishing this first movie, he's just going to have to do it all over again. So I want to know, how do you guys feel about the information that was released today? Do you like the photos? Do you like what Villeneuve was talking about? All of the behind-the-scenes aspects of this film? Do you think the cast is going to live up? Do you think the movie is Lord of the Rings meets Game of Thrones meets Star Wars, what a lot of people have been saying? I don't necessarily believe it's going to be as action-packed as some people are going to hope for, but I'm okay with that. I want him to do what he believes is right with this film. I trust him as a filmmaker. I trust everyone involved. I'm so excited for this film. Anytime we get information or details or a trailer especially, we're going to cover it on this channel. Non-stop Dune coverage because it is by far my most anticipated movie of the year, expected in mid-December. We'll see if it sticks. I don't know. I appreciate you guys for watching. This was such a fun update to do. And let me know on Twitter and Instagram when we get more info. Every time we get it, message me, comment, say, Austin, here it is, just in case you missed it. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you very soon.